G'day and welcome back to the channel. I promised everybody updates on the Pushback campaign and this is one of them. Now, next week I'll be rolling out a video that hopefully will cause the FAA to stop, reconsider remote ID as it currently exists, pause the rollout of remote ID and go back to the drawing board. Those are big, bold aspirations, but I think we can do it. I really think we can do it. I've come up with an angle that will put a lot of pressure on the FAA. As I said, the FAA will not be expecting this. This is a direction we're going to come from that they probably were not expecting at all. They're expecting us to come and say, this is so bad for our community. You know, we don't want to have remote ID on our drones. We shouldn't have to have remote ID on our drones. That's not the angle we're going to take. It's not the angle we are going to take. We are going to prove something completely different and show how remote ID is bad, not just for us, but for everybody in the country. It will affect everybody in decidedly bad ways, unrelated to what we do. And that's the angle we take. Now, most people probably don't realize, but in 1998, I was the managing director of what was at the time the world's most widely syndicated web-based news service. Bigger than BBC, bigger than CNN, bigger than Fox News. It was the most widely syndicated web-based news service in the world. I sold it for quite a reasonable amount of money, actually. And during that time as the managing editor, I worked with other people in the news industry and I learned an awful lot. I understand now how the news media works. I understand the cycles. I understand what makes a story attractive and what entices news media organizations to pick a story and promote it on the front page. I'm going to try and put all those skills, all that knowledge that I've picked up to use in this situation and get this remote ID issue on the front page. And I think we can do it. I really think we can do it. But I say we because I can make the video, I can push it out there, but I need everybody's support to do this. This is the time to say, right, it's my turn to contribute to this thing. I know a lot of people are leaving it up to other people. I'm very disappointed. A lot of the influencers, as I've said, are just sitting there and going, oh, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm not going to muddy the waters. I'm not going to create controversy. My job is to just do what I do, review products and make money from my affiliate links. To be fair, to be totally fair, these people have a point. They've got mouths to feed. They've got bills to pay. So I can understand where they're coming from. I'm one of the few people, the very few people, has the luxury of saying, I'm going to do this solely for the hobby and the people in it. There's nothing in it for me money-wise. It's costing me a fortune to do this. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. It's about the hobby. My grandchildren deserve the right to be able to enjoy the things that I've enjoyed for so many years. And I'm not going to deprive them of that through my own selfishness or whatever. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that my grandchildren, your grandchildren, and future generations have access to the skies for the hobby. My grandfather once said to me, one day they'll tax the air we breathe. And I think that the fact that in America you've got to pay $5 every 3 years to register your drone, I think it kind of makes his point. Anyway, so what can you do? What's your job in this pushback? Well, I've already put on my community tab that I want people to create videos and post them to their YouTube channels. If you're watching this now, you can have a YouTube channel, even if you don't already. So get your phone, record your opinion, because opinions are important. There's been a few videos already posted, very, very good videos by people within the community who have stated the case very eloquently and forcefully, and I thank them for making those videos. I've gone to each one and I've left a comment and I've given it a thumbs up, which, as a chap in the UK found out, does wonderful things within the algorithm. He normally gets 20, 30 views on a video. He got over 200 views on his last video and a new subscriber because I went along and I liked it and I commented. So the algorithm obviously says, well, this is engaging. Someone's taken the time to do this. Let's show it around. And that's what we have to do. We have to make our videos. And then every day, I want you to go out there and search for remote ID. Put remote ID in the title of your video. And every day go out and search for remote ID. Watch all the videos that are being produced by members of the community. Let them run all the way through. Otherwise, YouTube says you weren't interested. Click like and leave a comment. Use the algorithm. This will show the algorithm that this is a trending topic. This remote ID is trending. So what will happen then is YouTube will suggest these videos to unrelated people. People are not in the drone community. People outside our echo chamber. Some of them will watch the videos and go, I didn't know that. And they may even become friends of the community. We have to use the technology, use every tool we have in our little toolbox to make this thing work. Because the main thing I want to happen is when I drop this story late next week, I want the mainstream media to go, ooh, that looks interesting. Let's see what social media is saying. They'll go to YouTube, search for remote ID, and if they see a huge list of videos with people all saying the same thing, they'll go, this story has legs. Let's write a piece on it. That's what we want, because through the media, we won't be just rattling and talking amongst ourselves and making a lot of noise within this echo chamber. We'll be reaching the 310 million people in the USA who in turn have ultimate control over what politicians do. We can't influence the politicians. We don't have the money, we don't have the numbers, but if we can influence the public via the media, then we have control of the politicians and the decision makers. It's our only opportunity to make change. That's the way the real system works. The false system that they give you is just designed to protect them. The real system is getting the public on our side. It's a big ask with drones, but to be honest, the FAA has made such a huge mistake with remote ID that they have dropped this opportunity in our lap, and we can use it to our advantage. I'm hoping that at the end of next week, the FAA gets a big please explain from the politicians who say, how on earth did we let this happen? What are we going to do to fix it? And the FAA will have to hopefully suspend the remote ID rollout and go back to the drawing board, which at the very least will give us some respite. And in the meantime, the public, those 310 million people, will be aware of the situation we're in. And then we can continue to feed information, show them how wonderful the hobby is, what they're going to steal from us with this remote ID, network remote ID, pay to fly, and eventual grounding. That's how we do this. So there you go, that's your mission. And I would say to all those people, I looked in the RC groups and people say, oh, it's just a storm in a teacup, doesn't matter. No, just fit a remote ID to your module, to your plane, it won't matter. The AMA's got our backs. It's just like, I don't believe it. And I've seen this in other areas where there have been existential threats to communities. And only 1% of the community stand up and push back. And eventually the community is destroyed. And then the other 99%, once it's all gone, say, why didn't somebody do something? Yet they wouldn't do anything themselves. They always rely on someone else to do the heavy lifting, but then they always blame someone else when things turn to custard. I've seen it so many times, and we run the risk of that happening today. That all those people who are saying, don't worry, don't do anything, don't rock the boat, just put a thing, when they find that suddenly the powers that be no longer let them arm their drones through the network remote ID system that's been installed, they're going to blame us. They're going to blame everybody but themselves. So we need to short circuit this. We need to make sure that that situation does not happen. And as I say, I have a plan, I have a strategy. The FAA are not expecting this direction. The mainstream media finally will get them on our side. I certainly hope we'll have them on our side, because normally all the drone stories are anti-drone. This time, it's nothing to do with us. It's everything to do with a completely different, well, not completely different, but a related but different industry that remote ID could cripple. And that's really going to piss a lot of very, very big, powerful, influential people off. And they have the power. There you go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the indulgence. Thank you for those who support my crusade through Patreon or through channel membership. You're giving me the luxury to be able to make these videos and push forward on this without having to, be worried about affiliate incomes and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm focused solely on the best interests of the hobby, no commercial imperatives at all. And I couldn't do that without you. So thank you very much. Now go down to my gentleman parts, leave a comment. Am I doing the right thing? Does this sound like it'll work? Have you spotted any flaws in my plan? Have you got any better ideas? And remember, like the video, comment on the video, share the video so that it gets into the algorithm. And this issue becomes pushed out there by YouTube because it becomes a trending thing. Post your video, share the videos that you do see other people posting, and if you want to subscribe. Let's get this ball rolling. We have to get going. We haven't got long to accomplish our goals, but we can do it if we all work together. Don't leave the heavy lifting to everybody else. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Overregulation is like a tumor. It's killing our hobby. It must be terminated. Now!